Hello, my name is Carl. Welcome to my workshop and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, if you're a regular viewer of mine, it won't have escaped your notice that I've been doing quite a lot of machine restoration work over the years on the milling machine and on the turbine, which is now the latest thing that I've taken under my wing. And as you'll probably have noticed, and you'll know yourselves, a lot of restoration work on machinery, maybe even 70% of it, is elbow grease and cleaning of components. And sometimes that means cleaning big chunks of metal, but more often than not, we're looking at cleaning nuts and bolts and washers and small pieces and bits of delicate mechanisms and other components like that. So I thought I'd get myself something to help out with that. So I've got myself an ultrasonic cleaning bath, and I'm going to try it out now. So I thought I'd bring you in with that and show you how it works and show you, how effective it is, if at all. So we'll find out together. And I've got some fluid for it as well, so I'll show you that. Now, this is not going to be a review of the unit that I've bought, because I bought it with my own money. No one sends me things to reviews. I don't have huge numbers of subscribers that I get sent things to review, but I'll give you a solid look at this thing, and if it doesn't work, we'll find out together that it doesn't work. But I suspect it will be quite good, actually, because I think I've bought a decent one. Anyway, I'll bring you into the bench now and I'll show you the one that I've actually got. So this is the beast in question. It says digital ultrasonic cleaner, as you can see there. It's unbranded, but the model number is PLYS30. It's a 40 kilohertz unit, and it's 330 by 180 by 220 mil. That's the dimensions, and it's got a 7-litre capacity. Now you can see here it's got a heating capability, so you can set the temperature that you want to heat it to, and it's got a timer, so you can set how long you want it to run for as well. Now, the reason I bought this one was because it's basically identical to the one that I've used at work, and I know that one is very good and it definitely gives results. So I looked for something similar to the one that I know works, and that was my philosophy in buying one. So the stuff that I've got to put in it, or the substance I've got to use in it, is this. It's made by bestultrasonic.co.uk, and it's called carburetor cleaner, quite simply, ultrasonic cleaning solution. Now, this was recommended to me by my brother over at Retro Mechanica, and Dean uses this stuff all the time to clean components for the bikes that he works on, engine components and gearbox components. And the main ingredient in this is something called sodium metasilicate pentahydrate. Now, that is an alkaline, and it's used as a cleaning agent for metals, and it also puts like an anti-corrosive coating on the material, especially aluminium and light metals. So it's quite good stuff for what we want to use it for. It would certainly appear so anyway. So this has to be diluted 10 to 1 to make up the cleaning solution that goes inside the cleaner in the machine. So we'll do that and we'll give it a go. I'll just show you what's inside the unit itself before I break it. So in here we've got the chip pan, as we call it. So we've got a UK mains plug with a kettle lead on it. That comes with the unit. And we have the chip pan, as we call it. So the basket that goes inside it, basically, that you put your components in that you want to be cleaned. It's got quite big holes in it, so I think some parts could fall through that. But I think I'll just get some steel mesh or something like that, fine steel mesh, and put it in the bottom of there so that components can't actually fall through the holes in the basket. Inside the machine itself, there is a drain there, which leads to a nice stainless steel quarter turn valve on the side of the unit, so you can drain it. This stuff can be used time and time again. Once you've made up a solution of it, the 10 to 1 solution, and it's inside the tank of the machine, you can just keep using it until it's too dirty to use. And this company, they do give quite a lot of advice on using ultrasonic cleaners on their website, and they basically say, you know, you've got to use your discretion. When it looks too dirty to use, stop using it, or if you stop getting results with it, stop using it and change the solution. They actually sell ultrasonic baths like this one on their site. They don't make them, they just import them and badge engineer them, I think. But anyway, I got this one from eBay, and as I say, I bought it because it's similar to the one that I already know works. The only thing that slightly gives me pause about this one is that there's no gauze filter over that drain, so I can kind of visualize stuff getting stuck down there, you know, small parts and yeah, things like that. So I might put a little filter over it made out of micro mesh or something like that in the near future. But anyway, I'll get this thing filled up and then we'll sort through some parts and we'll give it a go. So there's a motley collection of stuff in there. There's some plastic bits and P-clips. There's stainless steel. There is mild steel that's cadmium plated. There's all kinds of bits and pieces. There's pipe work. Most of it's quarter UNF. I haven't put anything in there smaller than 2BA because it'll just fall through the gaps. And I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do now is start putting the water in. So what I'll do is I'll put enough in so that it fills up the and covers up the bolts and the bits and pieces, and then I'll just put the appropriate amount of the cleaning agent in to the correct dilution percentage. So that was a litre of warm water I've just put in there. This stuff needs to be run at between, let's have a look what it says, between 50 and 80 degrees C. So I'm putting warm water in there to start off with so that it doesn't take as long to heat it up. So we'll run it at about 60, something like that, and see what it does. So I'll carry on filling this up with water. So I'll put 2.5 litres of water, warm water, in here now, and it's about, I would say, 2/3 full. I'll show you the level in a minute. So what I'm going to do now is put in 250 mils of the solution, and of course it's got a child-proof cap on it, so I won't be able to get it off. So 2.5 litres of water, 250 mils of the solution. That gives us our 10:1 ratio. Let's have a look. 250 mils is about there. Let's have a look, see if I'm right. Let's have a look. A little bit more, I think. Yeah, a little bit more. Yep, that's 250 mils. So we'll put that in the machine. And I'm intrigued to note that it smells exactly the same as the stuff we use at work. So that's kind of a good sign, because the stuff we use at work does the business. So I'll bring you in now and I'll show you what it's like. So there you go, look, you can see the level. So everything's submerged, and I've got pipe work, I've got turnbuckles, I've got P-clips, I've got the ignition bulkhead, I've got some hydraulic fittings, yeah, nuts, bolts, washers, various bits and pieces. So let's see how it gets on. So we'll turn it round and have a look at the front. Right. So it looks like we have to actually, it sets off with everything set to the maximum, so you have to reduce it. So what we need to do first is put these handles down so the basket's fully in and the lid can go on. Let's put the lid on. So we'll set this to, what did I say, 60 degrees. You can see there, look, the actual is 39, so the water was about 40 when I put it in, I guess. Typical sort of house hot water temperature. Set that to 60. We'll set the minutes to 60 as well. We'll run it for an hour. If you press it, it just keeps going, but right, so heating on and ultrasonic on. Here we go. The first run of the buzzer. And as you can hear, it's already earning its name, and I've decided to call it the buzzer because there was a Soviet number station during the 1980s on shortwave, and if anyone remembers that period and listening to shortwave, you'll remember the buzzer. So I'll turn the disc off and the lid off and have a look. It's only been running for less than a minute. It definitely seems to have worked to some extent anyway. I mean, these pipe assemblies have come out pretty well. What I like about it as well is that it seems to have taken off the corrosion on these that there was on the barrel nuts. You can see they're all shiny now. So it seems to have done quite well in that regard. It hasn't done quite so well on some of these nuts that were really dirty. You can see there, like, that's still pretty manky, that washer, and that nut is coming off in my hands. So perhaps the solution needs strengthening up a bit. But what I'm going to do is take the clean parts out and put them to one side, and then I'll put it on another run with these components that are still dirty and see how they get on. And I think I'll increase the strength of the solution. It does say that you can increase it to 7-to-1 for really soiled components, so we'll see if that makes any difference. I'll take this up to 350 mils of the cleaning solution, of the cleaning product rather, which will make that into 7-to-1. So I'll get some of these clean parts sorted out, and then we can have a bit of a closer look at them as well. Okay, so the question is, has it worked? Well, the jury's out, really. I have to say, I'm not quite as impressed as I thought I was going to be. I would say that most of those bolts that are in the basket there are still pretty dirty. I mean, maybe that's asking a bit much for it to clean things like that at the first go, because that's pretty manky. But you know, I thought it would have taken that sort of dirt off the head of that bolt, and the kind of stuff that's in the threads. That's what I got it for, really, was to clean small parts and clean them well. Perhaps the solution wasn't strong enough. Perhaps I need to heat it up a bit more, or perhaps I just put too much stuff in it and expected too much of it. The stuff that has come clean is not too bad. I mean, you know, that's okay, it's pretty good. But I have to say, it's still not as good as it would have been if I'd just dunked it in some solvent. And the whole point of getting this thing was to try and avoid that sort of slightly dodgy practice of leaning over vats of solvent. You know, these look good, but that's because they're 316 stainless steel. But, you know, the pipe work's come up pretty well, and some of this stuff was corroded and it's taken the corrosion off. So, yeah, I've got to say that's pretty impressive. So I think it's just going to take a bit of getting used to, and seeing what works best in terms of the solution strength, the temperature of the water, and the timing. I mean, it was only on for an hour, but I would have thought that would have been enough, but I'm sure I'll come to grips with it eventually. So what I'm going to do now is put this lot back in and increase the strength of the solution. I'll up the temperature by another 10 degrees, take it up to 70 or maybe even 75, and we'll run it for another hour with the same, I won't change that, I'll just increase the strength of it, and we'll see how that gets on. Right, so I've increased the concentration of the solution, like I said, to see what that does, and I've increased the temperature to 80 as well, so the heater's on now and it's warming up, so we'll switch it on and we'll have another look. So that's it stopped after that 60 minute run at 80 degrees with the increased concentration of the cleaning fluid, and it's had definitely a noticeably improved effect. So one of the those nuts that was really dirty has come out very clean now. Well, it's not too bad, there's still some residue on it there that I can wipe off with my finger, but it is noticeably much cleaner. You can see the unified identifying mark there, look. But having said that, this one's not so great, and it says on the packaging for the cleaning fluid that it should remove carbon and dirt and things like that. So I would have expected it to have shifted all that, but maybe my expectations for it are just a bit too high, or perhaps I just need to get used to it and run it at 80 degrees with an even more increased concentration of the cleaning fluid for these really grubby parts, and maybe run it for longer than 60 minutes. But I'll keep experimenting with it anyway. It's a good piece of kit. Like I said, this is not a review, it's just me sharing this with you. I'm not sort of saying that the thing doesn't work. I'm not condemning or condoning it. I'm just trying to get used to it and share that with you. So that's the end of the video, people. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it wasn't a review. There's nothing implied about the efficacy of that piece of kit, of the ultrasonic cleaner. I think I just need to get used to it, really. So we can do that in the coming weeks. There's plenty of cleaning to do. So I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. Give me a like if you have. That's always helpful. It helps me to get out there with the older algorithm and get to the right places and get my videos seen. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel. There's going to be a lot of interesting content coming up, so I'd love to have you along for the ride. So I'll see you on the next one. Take care.